Toronto is in the middle of one of the most ambitious construction eras in its history. Skyscrapers climbing higher than ever, billions poured into public transit, entire neighborhoods reshaped, and all of it under the banner of progress. But here's the question. Are Toronto's mega projects really delivering the future we've been promised? Or are they just massive money pits? Stick with me, because today we're breaking down the full story. The wins, the setbacks, and the surprising truths about Toronto's mega project boom. Toronto isn't just Canada's largest city, it's one of the fastest growing cities in North America. Every year, more than 100,000 new residents arrive, mostly through immigration. That's like adding the entire population of Kingston, Ontario, every single year. With that growth comes pressure. Housing shortages, packed transit, congested roads, and a skyline constantly under construction. That's why Toronto has leaned so heavily into mega projects. Massive billion-dollar undertakings that are supposed to modernize the city. But before we dive into specific projects, let's ask, why now? Because Toronto's growth isn't slowing. If nothing is done, experts warn the city could choke on its own success. Gridlock, unaffordable housing, and infrastructure failures. Mega projects are being sold as the solution. Let's start with the crown jewel, the Ontario Line. This is supposed to be Toronto's next big subway line, stretching 15 kilometers from Ontario Place to the Ontario Science Centre. Think of it as the city's new spine. The price tag? Around $19 billion. The promise? It will carry 388,000 riders a day. It will cut down congestion on the Yonge Line, which is already bursting at the seams. And it will finally bring rapid transit to underserved neighborhoods like Thorncliffe Park. But here's the problem. Construction hasn't been smooth. Entire communities are complaining about noise, demolitions, and disruptions. Businesses along Queen Street are worried they'll collapse before the line even opens. And critics argue that the government rushed the planning, choosing speed over proper community consultation. Still, if it works, the Ontario Line could be a game changer. But that's a very big if. Next up, the Gardiner Expressway. Love it or hate it, the Gardiner is Toronto's main east-west highway, but it's falling apart. So the city launched a massive plan to rebuild and realign parts of it. The cost? Originally about $500 million. Now, closer to $3.6 billion. That's right. Taxpayers are footing a multi-billion-dollar bill to essentially rebuild a highway that urban planners have been saying for years should just be torn down. The controversy boils down to this. Should Toronto keep clinging to its car-first past, or should it finally embrace a transit-first future? The Gardiner debate isn't just about concrete, it's about philosophy. If there's one mega project that really captures Toronto's ambition, it's the waterfront redevelopment. For decades, Toronto's waterfront has been called, well, wasted potential. Now, projects like Quayside and Villiers Island aim to turn it into a futuristic neighborhood, with housing, parks, and innovation hubs. This was actually the same area where Google's Sidewalk Labs once promised a smart city of the future, until that plan collapsed back in 2020. Today, the vision is a little less flashy, but arguably more realistic. But even here, there are doubts. Will housing actually be affordable, or is it just going to be more luxury condos? Will it truly be sustainable, or is it just greenwashing with glass towers? And most importantly, will Torontonians even feel like the waterfront belongs to them, or will it become just another playground for developers? You honestly can't talk about Toronto without mentioning the skyline. Toronto now has more cranes in the sky than any city in North America. Some of the tallest buildings in Canada are rising right now, like the one at Yonge in Bloor, which is set to hit 85 stories. Developers are betting big on vertical living. But here's the catch. These mega towers are almost entirely luxury condos. Units often sell for more than $1,500 per square foot. That means the average Torontonian, the nurse, the teacher, the new immigrant family, is totally priced out. So while the skyline gets taller, inequality on the ground just gets wider. Mega projects are creating a city that looks like the future, but honestly, doesn't feel like home for everyone. If you want proof of just how messy mega projects can get, look no further than the Eglinton Crosstown LRT. It was supposed to open in 2020. As of 2025, still not running. Construction delays, lawsuits, design flaws, you name it. The price tag has ballooned past $13 billion. It's become a punchline in Toronto. People even joke their kids will grow up and retire before the line opens. But it's also deadly serious. Small businesses along Eglinton have been devastated. Commutes are still brutal. And public trust in mega projects has taken a huge hit. The crosstown is a warning. Big promises don't always equal big results. So this is the big question. Who actually benefits? On paper, mega projects promise better transit, smoother traffic, and modern neighborhoods. But in reality, many of them overrun budgets, take decades to complete, disrupt communities, and honestly, often leave affordability behind. Developers win, construction firms win, politicians get ribbon-cutting moments. But do ordinary Torontonians win? That's still up for debate. Toronto's mega project boom shows a city at a crossroads. On one hand, you can't deny the ambition. Toronto is building like it wants to be a true world-class city. On the other, the execution is messy, expensive, and often out of touch with everyday needs. So the real story is this. Mega projects can shape a city for generations, but they're not magic solutions. They require transparency, accountability, and most importantly, a focus on people, not just profits. If Toronto gets it right, the city could become one of the most dynamic urban centers in the world. If it gets it wrong, it risks becoming a glittering skyline with crumbling foundations. If you found this breakdown helpful, stick around. Because in our next video, we're looking at the housing crisis in Canada, why prices keep going up. We'll dig into whether mega projects, foreign investment, and government policies are helping or making things worse. Toronto's mega projects tell us a lot about where the city is headed. Bold, ambitious, but also deeply flawed. And whether you're excited or frustrated by them, one thing's for sure, they're reshaping Toronto in real time. So what do you think? Are these mega projects building the Toronto of the future? Or just distractions from the city's real problems?